And welcome back, everyone, to Black Titch League. My name is RareAdam. Alongside of me is Ito, and we're back here with Game 2 of Dino Club versus Dryads. Dino Club looking to go 3-0 on the season, whereas Dryads just looking to get out of that 500 zone, pick themselves up a positive record. But after Game 1, Dino Club really showed them who's boss.
Yeah, Dino Club shows why they remain undefeated so far. That was an incredible game one, incredible macro. I think Dino Club has lost a game. They haven't lost a match, but I think they did lose a game to one of the teams that was here. I think it was a team that was here week one, but did not survive past week one. But one of those teams, I think they lost one of the games to them. And looks like so far Dino Club says if it's not broke, why fix it? So they're going to ban the same three champions. They're going to ban out the Zero, and as well as the as well as picking the Maokai. So we're going to ban out the Zero after the Seraphine in the set, pick up the Maokai. We're going to see the Hecarim that was banned away by Dino Club last game get picked up. We're also going to see the Amumu. I imagine it's a Mumu support since we see a Hecarim as well. And Mumu support we saw. Mumu support is A tier. Mumu jungle, So nice
tier.
Yeah.
A tier, literally A tier.
Yeah. So good to see Amumu picked up. We're going to see the Lee Sin. Okay, that is a well-known pick of Delightful Jew. He's known as being a pretty good Lee Sin player in this league. You've seen him play a lot of Lee Sin, some flashy plays. So looking forward to see the Delightful Jew on Lee Sin again.
Oh!
Very cool to see. And Rim Almighty decided to pick up the Vayne, the blind Vayne, and going to be met with the misfortune.
And Dryads here going for what I like to call the curse of the bullet time combo in that bot lane. You use that Amumu ultimate, you drop the MF ultimate right on top of it.
That sounds cool.
Very potent combo, sort of the bronze special, I like to say, because it is extremely easy to pull off. You press R.
I enjoy ease of execution.
You press R. So Dino Club are really going to have their work cut out for them, especially considering Vayne with a little bit of a lower mobility delta than against the likes of something like an Amumu. You have the tumble, but, you know, Amumu got two bandages to throw at you, and I like to see Dryads banning out the Braum and the Leona because we saw how strong Vayne Braum could be yesterday.
Yes,
from
Academy. We did. Oh my god. Oh wait, they lost that game, but yes, we did see the 8-0 Vayne in lane, and also Braum definitely would help counter the curse of the bullet time thing that you were talking about with his shield. So good thought process there to ban out the Braum. I do enjoy seeing that. We're also going to see the Trundle get banned out by Dino Club. We did see Yucca was doing some incredible stuff there. Yucca, I believe it's probably Yucca, but he was doing some incredible stuff there with the Trundle last game. Did have lots of priority in that side lane. Was not enough to bring his team to victory, but was enough to definitely garner a ban. To deserve a ban, so we'll see what they do here. We're going to see the Camille picked up for Dryads. That'll be, I guess, Camille top line for Yucca this time. Into the Maokai. I think that's also should be another pretty decent matchup for Camille.
Yeah, Camille should have a lot of control, and we saw that Yucca there was able to survive that lane extremely well. Boaf was able to have a little bit more agency in the late game come those team fights, but once again, we see Yucca on a split pusher and Boaf playing the very safe Maokai pick, where you might die once in lane, but you won't give up too much because you don't need that much gold. I like this pick, though. The Alistar going to come out from Coach Kirk, basically calling his own number and saying, I'm going to be the one to make sure my Vayne stays alive.
Yeah, I was just about to say something else about the Camille is they have a way to get onto Rem Almighty that did not really have last game. And Camille is like the absolute perfect champion for getting onto an ADC. But Alistar will be able to negate that a bit. And we're going to see, a classic pick here from Dupless. Ari, pretty much his most played. Oh, we're actually going to go back to the Syndra. Okay. Still, also good against Camille. And Amumu. And just a good champion if you could use the Scout of the Week very well. It's going to do a good job to keep those champions safe. But again, also, like I said about Dino Club, pretty much all of these are like within the same 3 or 4 champions that all these people play. They stay within their wheelhouse. I really like it. And they find a way to always stay within like their comfort picks.
And I think the Syndra coming out from Dupless last game was really strong. Honestly, would have liked to see the Silas picked up if it is one of their champions, but the Galio going to complete this Wombo combo comp from Dryads.
I like it, actually.
We talked about ease of execution. I think we can go through Dryads win conditions with one letter.
Yeah, I think so. I think I do like that a lot. Also, Galio is like a pretty classic center counter, right? So yeah, okay, all right, I like it. I think this time I know I chose Dryads for Shifa going crazy, but really that was me just kind of disrespecting Dino Club. I know Dino Club plays so solidly, and it's really hard to do something like that into Dino Club. So that was kind of a mispick this time. But this time, I'm gonna pick Dryads for a different reason: ease of execution. That is always just gonna. I think if they can get the team fights that they want, if they could just not get, and like they're not into a Caitlyn Morgana, they shouldn't get macro down. They shouldn't just lose their towers like they did last game. So I feel like they should be in a more positive position here. Their bot lane, the bot lane may still get outplayed, maybe lose a few deaths, but once they hit level 6, I think that bot lane, and with the Hecarim and with everyone coming in with the Galio, I think they should be able to. I love the team comp that we see here from Dryads. It should be if they can execute it, I think this should definitely be a victory.
Yeah, I think that it's very easy to play. As we said, we can describe it with one button, which is the R. The reason why I said maybe the Silas would be good, because you have a bunch of really good ultimates, but Dryads really need to try and take control of their jungle this time around, and with the Hecarim coming through, a little bit more late game or mid game agency as opposed to Nidalee here. What do we make of Hecarim into Lee Sin specifically?
I mean, Lee says is another early game king, but I think Hecarim is just going to bring more to those team fights for sure. I think, as we were talking about, I was saying how I wanted to see something that scales a little bit better, team fights a little bit better for Shifo. I think Shifo will be able to definitely do a lot more in these team fights, and I think this is exactly something like this is what I was looking for out of Shifo. So I definitely like this. In terms of Lee Sin versus Hecarim, I don't know that matchup all too well, but in my mind, I imagine this can't be like you just kind of do your clears and you don't necessarily have to interact with Lee Sin all too much early game. So I think this should be fine for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that should be good.
We got to just keep our eye on how the likes of Pixel Wolf and Arizona are going to kind of come back, because last game they had a little bit of a stinker performance. We'll just be straight up with it. This comp is very much easier to execute, and I think this lane is a lot safer for Misfortune as well, bar any sort of mispositionings. How does I want to flip the script here? How does Rim Almighty and Coach Kirk get through this lane and kind of become the win condition for their team?
Well, I think it has to be done before like level 6, which is weird to say for Vayne. They're gonna need to. Yeah, I guess they just kind of farm it out and try to see if they can avoid. They have to be very aware of the power spikes that Misfortune and Mumu have, because it'll be very obvious once they hit level 6, and kind of avoid dying to those things. They can farm it up. I feel like if you can farm it up as Vayne, you're always going to be okay, and you're going to definitely be needing a QSS or a cleanse or something. We'll be interested to see what type of summoner spells Vayne chose. I think a cleanse would make a lot of sense here. We'll see what Vayne does choose. Vayne is very good versus Galio late game, so they do have that.
Yeah, I mean,
some type of way to get out of that CC, because otherwise Vayne will be standing still and just die.
Yeah, and if anyone remembers when Caps played Vayne mid, it's literally, it's Galio. There's a Galio. We have to play Camille. We have to play Vayne. We have to play Vayne here, and got that insane condemn against Hansama against that wall. So this is literally a we have to go Vayne game, I guess. We'll have to see how Rim plays this one out, but at the end of the day, we'll just have to see who ends up being the better team, and we will find out if it is Dino Club cleaning this one up and heading back to their whatever they do on a Sunday very early on, or if it will be Dryads taking back control of their jungle where they should belong and getting us to a Game 3. Don't go anywhere. You're watching BTL. And a warm welcome back to one and all here on this wonderful Sunday afternoon. My name is RareAdam. Alongside me is Ito, and we're back with Black Twitch League here, Season 11. This is Week 3 game, even though we're in Week 4. Or we like something like that. Regardless, we've got ourselves Dryads versus Dino Club. Dryads trying to come back after I have this actually swapped it the wrong way on the overlay. I will fix that very quickly. But yeah, Dryads trying to get back into this series after a little bit of a clinic by Dino Club in terms of macro in that game 1.
Yeah, that Caitlyn Morgana bot lane is so absolutely deadly. And yeah, I was saying the summoner spells, look at the summoner spell that Vayne grabbed. I think that makes a lot of sense whenever you see what they are up against. If you're up against an Amumu and a Galio and a Hecarim, you're definitely going to want that cleanse. So I'm definitely going to see how Rimamati plays around that cleanse. I think we'll have to see some theatrics from him for he to be super effective in these team fights, because it's just ease of execution is just definitely in the favor of the Dryads here. So we're gonna have to see some individual micro and outplays there from I think from Dino Club. I think they can still compete. It's just harder.
Yeah,
we're gonna see some crazy picks, some crazy like mechanical stuff, but
yeah, going to be a little bit more difficult for the Vayne Alistar this game because there's so much sort of, I want to say brain dead engage. That's kind of the best way to put it. It's Amumu just presses Q and then goes bleh, presses R, and Miss Fortune presses R, and then Galio presses R, and then Hecarim presses R, and then Yucca presses R, and then then you win your team fight. That's how it works.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But as it stands right now, Pixel Wolf and Arizona Style going to be taking control of this lane thus far. Up on the top side, I think we expect Dryads to win all 3 of these lanes at this stage because of the strength in their lanes as well. Should be interesting to see how Dino Club play their macro this time around, because there is a little bit more pressure on Delightful Jew to sort of break these very strong lanes for the side of Dryads.
Right. Yeah, they pretty much have winning lanes in every single lane. So yeah, Delightful Jew gonna be able to see if he can tilt any of these lanes into his laner's favor.
Yeah, you can see Galio just so confident. Having that magic damage shield means that basically he's able to take a Dark Sphere for free. Doesn't need to worry about that damage coming through, but oh my goodness, they're going to go aggressive onto Arizona Style.
Oh my goodness.
Might have overextended just a little bit. The Silver Bullet procs are going to force out the heal as well as the flash. Really well played from Coach Kirk there. Just moving
my god,
forward
imagine if Vayne had condemned. Oh my god. And this is what I'm talking about, like individual just outplays there. Coach Kirk just almost smurfed on him.
Oh, and Coach Kirk is just hex splashing or threatening the hex splash over the wall. You can see that there's some decent vision already coming out from Pixel Wolf and Arizona Style because they know they will have prio in this lane. But as it stands for the time being, you can see both of the junglers are up on this top side of the map. Everyone's moving over to try and secure this crab, but it's already been taken by Delightful Jew. Honestly, I'm looking to see an aggressive play, and Shivo looks like that's going to be the answer, going to move forward. Flash is coming out from Tanner as well as from Dupless. Nothing going to happen quite yet, so we're still waiting First Blood. Yeah, this bot side for the time being, a little bit, still a lot of priority going over to this Misfortune and the Amumu, but the teleport going to be channeled very early here from both of the mid laners. We might have a little bit of a party, but it's just the answer. But Delightful Jew going to go in, get a decent amount of damage on a Pixel Wolf. That's a 2-man knockup already. Gonna have to see where's Dupless actually already behind the play, but Arizona Style gonna be taken down by Delightful Jew, but Tower a little bit too strong as Tanner's able to turn one back around. Hecarim has taken the crab, but will not be able to show up in time. I think a little bit of a miscommunication because Dupless was going one way and Delightful Jew was going the other way. Ends up just being a 1-for-1, but Dino Club have a little bit of an advantage off of that. Actually, in this jungle here, Dupless is getting engaged on by Shifo. This is the ghost coming through, and Shifo gonna get on the board here, pick up a kill on that Hecarim, and that can be devastating. But up on the top side, Boaf is winning out on this 1v1.
Oh my goodness.
The Maokai cuts down the lumberjack or the surgeon or whatever it is that Camille does to trees. But oh my goodness, we get the pause coming through. But regardless.
Wait, did he DC while I was killing?
Uh-oh.
I hope not. It looked like Cinder was running around.
It looks like Syndra wasn't moving around. Might have just been a little bit of a ping diff there, but regardless,
Yeah.
everyone is back to normal. We're going to get the pause after the pause in a little bit, but up on that top side, very surprising play coming out from Boaf to be able to pick up a solo kill on Maokai versus the Camille.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the pause after the pause. Can't forget about that.
Of course, not the Riot Games special, small indie company, but
Right.
shorter than normal. Actually, I think it was just a little bit of a quick one there. You can see Vayne actually is feeling relatively good in this lane. The wave is pushing back to her. She's got herself an item advantage. Actually, here, Delightful Jew's going to come in against Tanner, but so scared of that taunt.
Yeah.
You got to be so careful when you're ganking a Galio, because if you get taunted up on her tower, you are dead to rights. And that's exactly what happened for Delightful Jew the first time when they got the dive onto Arizona style there.
The tree. Man, makes me miss one of the players who used to play BTL a lot. He was known as a Maokai one trick, and he made that champion look like it did so much damage. And his name was Mark. We used to call it the Markai.
The Markai, but Boaf here showing that the tree is still a force to be reckoned with. Everyone's saying, "Oh no, it's assassin meta in the jungle," and saying, "You know what, tanks? We still got a little bit to show for ourselves here." Has that Bomby Cinder as well, so going to be rather tanky in those 1v1s, but still got to keep our eye on this bot lane, because this Misfortune now, with the Serrated Dirk, has a little bit of a damage advantage over Vayne in terms of raw damage, but we'll have to see how the Amumu plays out, because right now, level 4, there won't be getting level 6 before the Vayne at the very least. Even Coach Kirk might be getting that before the two of them. And, whoever gets level 6 first here kind of wins it out, because if you don't have the Curse of the Bullet Time there, if you have the final hour first, that might spell trouble. But Coach Kirk is in trouble here, going to be taken down by Shifo. Everyone pulls up to the club, and they say goodnight to the cow. They're having some real good Wagyu beef tonight. Yeah, this is a better showing coming out from Dryads thus far. They've been able to manage their early game a little bit better this time around. The macro isn't swaying heavily in favor one way or the other. The Dragon going to get picked up by the side of Dryads here to hopefully get a little bit more control over the map. But it is, once again, Cloud Drake into Mountain Drake. And this is what we saw last game, and we saw how that worked out for the side of Dino Club. But Dupless going to get feared up here. Unleashed Power going to try and outplay this one, but I think Dupless, he's going to live for just long enough as the Lightful Jew comes over the wall, takes down the horse. This horse is too big for a leash here, as Coach Kirk now moving forward onto Tanner. Forces the ult on top side as well from Yucca, as Boaf almost gets another solo kill on this Maokai. And Dino Club, despite them not picking up that dragon, are still very strong this game.
No, 1000%. Dude, this is good individual play all around the map.
And oh my goodness, Rim Almighty has hit level 6 at the same time as Pixel Wolf. There's no ults yet on the Amumu or on the Alistar. In some ways, Alistar Ultimate is a good pick into the Amumu, because
I
can cleanse that away, but just consistently.
Wait, did that Hex Flash over the wall just fail?
No, I think he Hex Flashed to the side there.
Okay, he did that on purpose, okay.
Yeah, didn't want to full commit to that, but as it stands right now, Dino Club having a 1,000 gold lead once again. The kills are even, but once again, it's just coming down to plates. In the mid lane, they picked up a plate. In top lane, they picked up a plate. And also the shutdown went over to Delightful Jew, albeit the kill gets turned back around. It will be another shutdown.
Oh, no, Dupless.
Oh, no, Dupless is in the worst possible timeline where he just DC and re-C and everything like that. So we'll wait to see what happens here. But for the time being, a pause.
Indeed.
Looks like both of these teams have some good sportsmanship, though.
Yeah, like I said, these are players that have been playing. Pretty much everyone here has been playing for like 3 seasons, and they know each other pretty well. They've played on the same teams during All Stars and stuff like that, and different tournaments. So it's good to see the respect and the sportsmanship between friends.
At the end of the day, both of these teams just want to have some good League of Legends. They're
Right.
getting casted by us. This time at least, I'm not losing my voice. Yesterday, I mean, if someone wasn't losing their voice in game one, something's wrong with them. But
Yeah, that was crazy.
thus far, been a little bit more of a calmer stream, which is kind of fitting considering how the weather is, at least where I am here. It's raining and it's gross outside, so
Oh, is it? Ah, okay.
time to just sit back and relax. Watch some League of Legends here, and at least both of these teams have shown some nice respect. Yesterday, there was a little bit of trash talking, Cheese bought more.
Oh yeah, that was really funny. Because I mean, they really did kill him like 8 times bot lane. It didn't matter. The Lilia was, oh my god, I still can't believe that happened. That was just an absolutely crazy game.
Yeah, and for the time being, we're just going to wait and see what happens with this. But we will toss it to a quick break while we wait for them to get back into game here. We will hopefully get ourselves back in order and onto the Rift here with Dino Club versus Dryads Game 2. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back, everyone, to BTL. We are back with Game 2 between Dino Club and Dryads here. Just a little bit of a connection break there, but we are back and onto the Rift here as nothing important happened in the last 15 seconds, so don't worry. Dupless getting back into game here, but as we were saying before the break here, 1,000 gold lead for Dino Club once again, and it's not really based on their macro this time, it's more so just based on their micro in terms of the farming here, as Rim Almighty, though, taking a decent trade with Pixel Wolf, but trading damage back and forth quite well.
I keep thinking about more about this bot lane matchup and how good, like how smurf of a pick Alistar is. Like Alistar can ult and like disrupt the bullet time. Right, and like that's pretty much what they're gonna be looking to do. And then if Vayne has cleanse available, she should be okay.
Yeah, another thing is you can knock the Amumu away so the Amumu isn't right on top of you when he uses that Curse of the Sad Mummy. So it can be quite good, but Boff up on this top side is gonna get lane ganked here by Shifo. Here comes the stun from the hook shot into the Hextech ultimatum. There's no way out for this Maokai, but dodges away from a decent amount of that damage. Gonna have to flash, but the Onslaught of Shadow is gonna follow that Fear Glass for so long. Boff will not be able to get out of there, but here comes the rest of the team. Galio ultimate gonna come through as well, so a lot of ultimates are used up on that top side, but on the bot side here, Arizona style going aggressive. Coach Kirk forced to use that Unbreakable here, as now Rim is in a very advantageous position. It will be Coach Kirk going down, but Rim is going to pick up that kill, and now on to Arizona style. Gets the condemn against the wall. This is what we wanted to see out of Rim. Outplaying this bot lane here. Needs one more auto attack, get that movement speed, and that's going to be a double kill for this Vayne. Extremely well played by Coach Kirk as well as Rim Almighty to clean up that double.
So, just ults it and then just walks behind Misfortune, knocks Misfortune into position to die to Vayne. Just really well played by the bot lane of Dino Club there. Vayne doesn't even use cleanse.
Yeah, Vayne did not have to use cleanse. They're dodged away from that last bandage toss as well, but so well played from Coach Kirk to be able to survive enough damage to be able to get the combos off onto the important targets, and really well played by Rim Almighty to stay alive and be able to drop all of that DPS. A really good condemn against Arizona style as well. So Dino Club kind of beating the counter matchup really well there, but as it stands right now, 1,400 gold lead for the side of Dino Club. Maokai did get taken down there, but there were a lot of ultimates used. The Hextech ultimatum, the Onslaught of Shadows, the Hero's Entrance as well, and now that Galio doesn't have that tool available for at least another minute and a half. Actually, just noticed that Delightful Jew did take that Rift Herald, and that's going to pick up first tower in that mid lane, so the macro going to work once again, but Arizona style is taken down by Rim Almighty. And we've seen a Vayne get fed like this before. It didn't work out in the same way, but man, this Vayne 3-0-1 looking pretty scary already.
Yeah, but the difference is they're also doing on the other parts of the map. It's not just the Vayne.
Yes. Yeah. You can see Lee Sin 2-1-1 has definitely done the job in terms of keeping the jungle pressure up early. Up on the top side, though, it's going to be the Onslaught of Shadows into that Hextech ultimatum. Once again, Boff trying to stay alive, but I don't think the Maokai has a way out this time. No flash. Going to keep healing up. Stalls a lot of time here. As you can see, Tanner up on that top side as well, but they're able to kill this Maokai once again. Just want to say that even though they're killing the Maokai, might not be the most important target, because at the end of the day, Maokai's going to get tanky. Maokai's going to have crowd control because he can't take that away. Pixel Wolf, on the other hand, if you start to kill him a couple times, is going to start losing out on some of that damage because it won't have enough gold. And Delightful Jew and Coach Kirk are just looking to zone off.
Very, very true. Yeah, not be able to walk up there to the tower without some help, and they do not have any help available right now. And look again at the vision control as they push their vision line forward, as they gain a little bit of advantage. They're very good at doing that. They take down the tower, they push their vision line forward, they make it so that their jungle does not feel like the enemy jungle does not feel like their own jungle. It's like now you just see Coach Kirk just camping out in the enemy jungle because he has the vision. That's their jungle now.
Yeah, it is their quadrant of the jungle there.
Yeah, look at the vision on the map. Oh my god.
We saw Shifo taking away the top quadrant of Delightful Jew here, but I don't think he cares. Realistically, he's just like, I'm okay with this. My team is winning across the map. Waff is basically just playing weak side very well, despite, dying a couple times there. If we look at the gold, They are very close in gold. They are a lot closer
Yeah.
than they should be, especially considering Camille is a very good matchup into the likes of this Maokai, but with the Divine Sunderer now coming through for the Hecarim, we'll have a little bit more oomph to potentially be able to cut through the likes of this Lee Sin and this Maokai easier come later game. But as it stands for the time being at 15 minutes, while the kills are even, it's a 3,000 gold lead based once again on macro for the side of Dino Club.
That's what they do. I will say Shifo is starting to look pretty scary. Shifo is doing pretty well. That could, if the Hecarim starts doing too much damage, then Vayne may just get, the carries may just get deleted in these team fights. And we do know that the team fight is very easy to pull off. Like, even though they're behind, their team fight is still very easy. So if they get there in the right situation, get a good team fight, a good 5v5 here, the Dino Club is not, you know, they can still be in trouble.
Yeah, they still got to be careful, all things considered, with how they're about to play out this the rest of the game here, because despite them having a lead right now, it is still very difficult if you fight into the wombo combo. You have to be able to avoid that at all costs, because if you get 2-3 ultimates right on top of your Vayne, you know, Amumu gets a 3-man ultimate into the bullet time, into the hero's entrance, it's so difficult to survive, even if you're fed.
Right. Oh, boyo. Here comes Dinosaur Club. They want this tower. I think they're going to get this tower.
Yeah, I think they're going to be able to clean this one up. Once again, the macro getting to work to make sure that they can clean all of these up as necessary. But oh my goodness, though, Arizona still taking a big chunk of damage, but here comes the combo, and Tanner just drops down with the Superman dash. Gonna pick up a couple kills, and here's the wombo combo in action. Rim gonna get taken down there because Burn the Cleanse wasn't able to stay alive, and they're gonna start to fight this out. Delightful Jew gonna try and pick up a kill. Will be able to pick one up onto the Amu, but goes down for his troubles, and all of a sudden, the side of Dryads are starting to bring this one back. Coach Kirk in a little bit of a pickle. Going to get exhausted is Shifo, though, but will be able to pick up that kill nonetheless. The Hecarim just a little bit too tanky, and all of a sudden, that gold lead that they had is cut in half, and a lot of gold going back over to this Hecarim and this Misfortune.
Yep, heck, we were just saying it. Like, they are still in trouble if they get into a full-out team fight. They can get this wombo combo up. It is still, that is so difficult to survive. Like, just like you can play your micro, your outplay mechanics as much as possible, but it is you can't really outplay that.
Yeah, and very difficult to outplay, as you said, as Misfortune starts to build more towards that lethality, meaning that she will shred through that Vayne come late game. She will shred through the Syndra if there's no Zhonya's or any other armor built up. And, you know, Lee Sin doesn't have armor right now, just has a whole lot of health, so will be hurting in terms of the tankiness department for at least a little bit. But as it stands right now, gold lead's still in favor of Dino Club. They have those 2 dragons, and with Infernal Dragon spawning in 5 seconds here, we'll see where the priority lies, because the wombo combo ultimates are not up and available quite yet. This could mean that Dino Club have access at a free dragon, or they can look for a fight. Hex Flash over the wall. That's actually going to land. Pixel Wolf, going to flash away to get knocked under tower instead. Forced to burn that summoner on Pixel Wolf, and that should mean, as Blue Buff gets tossed around, it should be a free dragon for the side of Dino Club. They chunk out the summoner spell, at least, from Pixel Wolf, and that's going to be an Infernal Dragon going in favor of side of Dino Club. So picking up those objectives, still having some pretty good macro advantage, but the gold lead is starting to slim up once again as Yucca gets to work on that split push.
Yeah, they just simply do not have as much real estate. Speaking of Dryads.
Yucca in a lot of not in trouble, actually given the trouble to Boath here. Tanner comes in with that taunt. And just like that, the gold is all tied up as Rim tries to get some damage down onto Pixel Wolf. That's a lot of damage coming up from both of the AD carries.
Yeah, Pixel turns around and says, nah.
But Coach Kirk is here under the tower. There's no flash on Pixel Wolf, and it's going to be Rim picking up the shutdown there. Really well played from Coach Kirk to go under that tower, pick up that kill, and
no, you just hex splash like Coach Kirk, man. Coach Kirk is such a hex splash aficionado.
This might actually mean a turret for the side of Dino Club once again. putting the macro to work. They trade the Maokai for the Misfortune Shutdown and a tower, which ends up being quite beneficial for them. But now Shifo looking over the wall, actually just going to get knocked away as Coach Kirk tries to stall as much time as possible. This Alistar might be going down, but just stalling out so long. Here comes the teleport from Boaf, though, as Shifo now might be in a little bit of trouble. Has kind of extended a little bit too far, but that's going to be the fear landing onto the Vayne, taking so much damage. He's going to try and get out of there, but Tanner's actually going to get blocked up by Boaf here as Arizona Style tries to get into this one. Has another bandage toss available. Will land it onto the Maokai, but that's not the target you want. Rim is staying alive, and they will successfully peel off all of that potential in the mid lane as Pixel Wolf now going to be in trouble and going to get outplayed by Dupless.
Oh no, not the outplay.
Outplay button in full effect as unfortunately Pixel Wolf just showed up near a Syndra, and that's how you lose. No summoners, no problem for the side of Dupless. Just going to be able to take that one down without a fight. Now they're looking at this top tower, once again opening up the map for themselves to get more gold, because they've expanded their gold lead back up to 2,000 gold, despite not really getting too much more of a kill, as Yucca trying to fight against Delightful Jew. This will be a 2v2 as Arizona Style is here. Gonna miss that party favor though, but the teleport's gonna come through. Yucca's knocked back. Tanner gonna try and get that taunt. Dupla's gonna flash away from this one, but here comes Coach Kirk already here to peel away. Dupla's gonna be able to stay alive as Coach Kirk has flashing over the wall. That is his real flash down, but once again, peeling off the potential fights as Rim and Boaf are going to actually find Tanner here, and he might be in trouble. This is the power of Vayne into Galio. Gonna get that shutdown as now Yucca in a whole world of hurt. Gonna get crowd controlled up as Rim gets a double kill. This might be the triple kill as Arizona Style uses that Curse of the Sad Mummy, but Pixel Wolf was nowhere close. That's 3 kills in a row for this Vayne. 7-1 on the Vayne. And this time, Dino Club are going to expand their gold lead even further with this Baron, unless Shifo has some sort of miracle play up his sleeve. Looks like they're just going to give this Baron over, as no smite actually available for Hecarim, so no chance at a steal.
Yeah, they definitely chased that too far. They kind of need everyone together to get their wombo combo off, and they can't really just continue chasing after when they don't know where Dino Club is. Like they simply do not have the vision advantage to do that, to do a play like that. And this kind of just, if you run into the Vayne 1v1, she's very, very happy to take those fights. It's like, oh, look at that. Look at them running into me. I don't get CC'd by everyone jumping on my face. I can easily take this fight. That's going to be a triple kill going up to the Vayne. As just, I think it was first Galio just walked up and just gets deleted, then the Camille gets condemned and just gets deleted. Is like, and then the Amumu is like, yeah, no, that's not how they're supposed to play these fights at all. They're supposed to play their fights together. So just a poor chase there by Dryads, and they get punished for it.
And I think the biggest issue with that was that Galio was the one that get caught out first. You can't use your hero's entrance on yourself. You can't use the, oh my goodness, wait, that bandage toss went right between the wickets there. If we had field goals, that would have counted, but close is only important in horseshoes and hand grenades, so. They're going to try and find some more towers around the map. 5,500 gold lead for the side of Dino Club here as they continue to just show the league that they are a force to be reckoned with. This team is 2-0 for a reason, looking to go 3-0 on the season, and just showing that their macro is matched by none at this stage. As Rift Herald actually starting to expire on this Hecarim. No real opportunity to use it here as it starts to expire, but we're going to have to see this used by Shifo right now unless they want to lose that buff, as it's actually going to go away. So Shifo does not get that Rift Herald off, pick that up, that second Rifty, but going to get 0 gold from it overall as the siege continues with these Baroned up minions in the mid lane, and looks like the 4 stack here of Dino Club going to pick up that tower. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Look at the damage coming out.
Oh my god. Oh, Pixel just almost got deleted.
Yeah, Pixel Wolf not feeling very good here as despite the strong build with the Eclipse, you have to hit 2 abilities or 2 auto attacks to be able to proc it, so that's the issue. You don't get a shield if you get hit, you get a shield if you hit them. So regardless, they're going to continue this push. The 4-man stack just going in, but here comes the Delightful Jew into the backline, tanking up a lot of time and wasting their time with that stopwatch, going to try and get out of there. And gonna have to burn that flash. Here comes the bullet time.
Oh
4-man knockup here. The hero's entrance gonna come down defensively as it's Coach Kirk and Buff in that backline. But Rim Almighty is untouched in this fight. Gonna get feared up for a little bit, but Shifo might be the first one taken down actually, as Rim Almighty goes unstoppable. Gonna get the condemn onto Yucca as they're gonna use that Hextech ultimatum, but it is not enough, and 4 of them are down. this might actually be the game, as Tanner is the only one for Dryads who can potentially save the game. But the side of Dino Club, just such a clinic once again in terms of their macro play. They're able to play out these Baron into ends so efficiently, and they're going to clean up this game in just about the same time as Delightful Jew gets the style point at the end there. Going to be able to live as well, but will take a death. Man, just what a series out of Dino Club. They clean that one up 2-0, and they're ready to just head for the hills and take themselves a Sunday nap.
Indeed, indeed. And I believe it's supposed to be Dino Club also playing today at 9 p.m.
Oh,
So
they
we'll
got a double header.
yeah, Dino Club versus Hard Rock Pepper today at 9 p.m. So we'll be, we'll be back then. The 6 p.m. game is not happening. That is our bye for the week, as Team No Name no longer exists. So that will be Glacial Mingo's getting a bye at 6 p.m. It should be Dino Club versus Hard Dr. Pepper at 9 p.m. EST. At least I believe that game is still happening. I did just get a message from their team captain that their team captain is sick. So hopefully they'll be able to find a sub for him by the time that game happens. Hopefully, we would like to see Hard Dog Pepper at full strength. That is the other undefeated team in the league right now. I believe that Hard Dog Pepper is also 3-0. I could go. Yeah, Hard Dog Pepper is also 3-0. So actually, these are the two undefeated teams that are facing each other. The two 3-0 teams are already facing each other here in week 4. So looking forward to that matchup at 9 p.m. EST. For now, we will be signing off. We'll look for are there any other leagues that are? I see Legend Esports is live with Valorant. I would love to see a low elo Valorant league. I'm actually very interested. I may actually watch that. I may host this and actually watch it this time.
Yeah, so
looks. I don't watch the other ones that we host.
But yeah, looks like that's going to be it for us today. If you enjoyed our stream, feel free to drop a follow or drop a subscribe. It isn't September anymore, but it's October and spooky season, so scare us with your subscriptions. But as for me, RareAdam, as well as Ito here, thank you very much for joining us for our adventure here on an early Sunday afternoon. We hope you have yourself a wonderful rest of your Sunday and a very productive week ahead of you. See you later, gamers.
All right.
All right. Good
Fantastic.
stuff.